A team I'm not quite as high on this year as maybe the rest of the NBA landscape is the Toronto Raptors. I think they're top heavy right now, but it's a good top. They have RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and Scotty Barnes, which are legitimate foundational building blocks for this team going forward. They do own their first round pick again after not having it in last year's draft. They still have young wings with exciting potential like Grady Dick and Jacoby Walter. I think they're just going to sell off some of their veterans at the deadline, and they're going to still enter this rebuild phase that they've been in since they moved on from Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby last season. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? We are going to be rebuilding the Toronto Raptors, and it's crazy because this team did win the NBA Finals in 2019, and it seems inevitable when you win this Finals. With the aging roster they had at the time, they entered a rebuild, but honestly, it was all because Kawhi Leonard left in 2019, then eventually Fred VanVleet left, and Siakam and OG Anunoby last season. But it's exciting because they hit on the Scotty Barnes pick. I don't know if this team's future is as exciting. If this was like Jalen Suggs, or if this was Josh Giddey, right? They did a phenomenal job drafting Scotty Barnes here, even Jonathan Kuminga as well. I think they made out like better in the OG Anunoby deal than they did in the Pascal Siakam deal, which is kind of crazy to think about since Siakam is a better player than OG. I think Jakob Poeltl is a fine big man. I think he became a little bit underrated last season. I love Kelly Olynyk as a player. I think we can definitely get a first round pick from him at the deadline. Bruce Brown, not as much since he's making $23 million, and him being the matching salary in the Siakam trade has been kind of a disaster right now. And they have a lot of good defensive guards as well, like Davion Mitchell and Jamal Sheed. It's going to be pretty good defensively at the point of attack. But this is really going to be a foundational season. We want to see what we have with this roster going forward. This is definitely going to be the starting five. And I definitely want to see what I can get out of Jacoby Walter as well. You're going to have Chris Boucher. Ochai Agbaji, I mean, like, we're getting to the point of his career where he's got to be fighting for rotational minutes going forward. Davion Mitchell is going to get, like, I think 8 minutes a night. We're probably going to go like 10 to Boucher, 10 to Agbaji. I believe Boucher is the only player that was on that championship roster in 2019 that is still on the team now. So I'm going to go a ton of minutes to Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett. Let's go 35 to Scotty Barnes, and let's rock with this team going forward. We are going to be 3 stars under Darko Rajakovic, who I like as a head coach. I think he's done a good job so far for the Raptors. We'll see how he pans out this season. I'm also going to be doing an auto-generated draft class right now. I want to see what this could look like going forward, and I think it's a little bit more exciting. Like, you get guys like Ace Bailey, Cooper Flagg. They're great right out of the gate. I think maybe I got to find a good draft quality slider and then lower that for that if I want to use real draft classes going forward. But for now, we're going to do auto-generated. I think we're going to be picking high in the lottery this year. We are going to start off the season against Cleveland at home, and we win 117-114. I think goals for this season to make sure that Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett can be guys for us going forward that can complement Scotty Barnes. I want Scotty Barnes to be an all-star, and I want to get something in return for some of my veterans at the deadline, and then hopefully one of Jacoby Walter or Grady Dick shows promise on both ends of the floor this year. Yeah, we just got blown out by Minnesota. We beat Philly by 3. RJ had a nice game here, but we got blown out by the Timberwolves. Not as pretty out of the gate. How's Emmanuel Quickley been? Oh my God. He's my most improved player pick this year, but that is not a good start whatsoever. And then we lose to Denver. All right, so we are 1-4, but hey, I do want to lose some games. We lost to Charlotte. Oh my God. So we win against Cleveland. A nice start to the year. And then we lose 6 in a row. RJ Barrett is the leading scorer right now. Scotty Barnes hasn't been great. He's averaging 3 blocks a night. Emmanuel Quickley shooting 37% from the field. Jakob Poeltl is shooting 39% from the field. What is going on? And we are really bad right now. We are 7-29, 7-30. Oh my goodness. We actually may end up with the worst record in the NBA this year. We are currently the 14th seed though in the Eastern Conference. I'm sure Brooklyn or Washington is somehow worse than us. Because when you're 8-30, you should probably have the worst record in your conference. Oh my God. So we're tied basically with the Wizards win-wise, as the Nets are 6-32. That is insane. The Jazz are 10-26. Spurs are 11-26. So we are 10-41 at the trade deadline this year. Honestly, I am perfectly fine with that. I wanted to be bad, but I also didn't want to flirt with the play-in tournament. Somehow we make it, and that hurts our draft pick even more. I mean, if the Raptors are the worst team in the league this year, and this is like a fully healthy team, maybe Darko Rajakovic gets fired, which is a shame to see because he should go throughout the development stage here. Scotty Barnes, 20 points per game, exactly 19.9 where he had him last year. 3-point shot is down, which something I'm definitely afraid of with Scotty just because of how bad of a shooter he was, not early in his career, but at Florida State, even though last year was great. But we've seen guys have these better shooting seasons, even though 34% isn't like great by any means, but it is solid. Man, he was such a good defender. He's going to be fine for us going forward. Definitely not worried about him. RJ, though, 29% from 3. That is abysmal for RJ Barrett. That's not what I like to see. Emmanuel Quickley is averaging 18.5 points, 4.7 assists, 45, 36, 92 splits. Like, he's been great for us. Kelly Olynyk, really good, man. He's one of the best shooting big men in the league, actually. And I think I'm going to get good value for him at the deadline. I'm going to look to see if I could trade Bruce Brown. I just don't know what I'm getting for him. Grady Dick shooting 39% from the field and 31% from three is very disappointing. Jakob Poeltl hasn't been good enough where I think I could trade him at the deadline. Jacoby Walter, it's been more down than up here in his rookie season. And I think this trade would make sense for both parties, as Memphis could definitely be looking for a big man that's kind of opposite of Zach Edey, someone that could space the floor and they can have a 5-out lineup. So we're going to do Kelly Olynyk for John Konchar. We're going to have to eat his contract for the next 2 years, but we're going to be getting a lottery protected first-round pick in 2027. So I think this is a pretty realistic trade. And I think these are the trades we should be doing right now. I'm not really going to be in the market to sign anybody in free agency, and we're paying Barnes, RJ quickly, and Jakob Poeltl a decent amount of money. So I'm going to work out a trade with the San Antonio Spurs. These two teams have had a good working relationship over the last couple of years, maybe more in favor. I don't know. I mean, Toronto got Kawhi Leonard, so they won that trade. They won the finals. And then Jakob Poeltl for a first-round pick, which ended up being Rob Gillingham that got sent to Minnesota. Definitely worked out more for San Antonio. So we're going to make a trade right here, which is going to give San Antonio basically $18 million more in cap space this summer. We're going to be eating Harrison Barnes' contract going forward, but we're going to be getting a swap best between Boston and San Antonio. This is from the Derek White trade. I expect both those teams to be good in 2028. So it's not a great first round pick, but I think getting anything in return for Bruce Brown is a positive for us. And like I said, I'm not really spending money this offseason either, so I don't mind paying Harrison Barnes $18 million next year. So I think that's a win-win trade as well, because now San Antonio could try to sign somebody to pair them up with Wemby. And I want to see if I can maybe take on another bad contract. Rashawn Holmes is currently on the Houston Rockets. They're a team that could definitely, I think, come in favor of saving $12 million this offseason as well. I'm just asking for a Dallas swap best with Phoenix in 2029. I'm going to be giving them a good defensive point guard in Mitchell, but this is a salary dump. We're taking on bad money to get a first round pick. I think would be a great trade for us. Will they accept it? They do not. We just got to throw in some seconds. All right, so I think this was actually a home run of a deadline for us, which means towards the end of the season, yeah, like it's not going to be pretty coming off the bench. We're just going to play Jacoby Walter a ton, Barrett a ton, Barnes, Grady Dick a ton. We're actually going to be able to see Jamal Sheed in action. I mean, Jonathan Mogbo, I think, could definitely, benefit from being in the G League this year. But guys like Ochai Agbaji and Chris Boucher, who are probably not going to be back next year, I don't really need to play at all. I mean, I'll give Harrison Barnes some minutes because he'll probably be in this rotation next year just due to how much money he's making. So it'll just be like something like that going forward throughout the rest of the season. We're 10-41. We're not making the play-in tournament. I just wanted to get some good draft capital going forward, and we did that at this year's deadline. All right, so Luka Doncic wins MVP this year. Alex Sarr takes home Rookie of the Year. I mean, not really a good rookie season, but he gets it anyway. Colin Sexton, 6th Man of the Year. That is somebody that, I mean, could have netted the Jazz a pretty good return if they decided to trade him at the deadline. As Tibbs ends up winning Coach of the Year, I don't think we were going to get Scotty Barnes. Oh my God, I am wrong. Okay, Scotty Barnes on one of the worst teams in the NBA gets an All-NBA honor. Okay, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4.4 assists, over 3 stocks, 48% from the field. Shooting got better in the second half. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't even know if Scotty Barnes made an All-Star team this year, in which he didn't, which is weird though. It doesn't say he was an all-star last year because he was one in real life. I don't know if that's like maybe a glitch here. Did we get him on an all-defensive team? We did not. There's OG Anunoby, former Raptor, Kawhi Leonard, former Raptor as well. And somehow Jacoby Walter, I mean, he was a lot better in the second half. Made all-rookie first team, which is great because he's going to be slotted in next year as our 6th man. And Jamal Sheed made all-rookie second team. Okay, we'll see if he's going to be in the rotation as well next year. So yeah, we aren't going to be playing here in the play-in tournament whatsoever. We went 22-60. The Nets may have the tiebreaker over us for the worst record in the league. So I think Quickly and Barnes played as advertised. RJ Barrett, okay, I was going to say was disappointing, but was a lot better in the second half. The efficiency looked a lot better. 6 rebounds, 4 assists, which is a career high as well, which is great to see. Emmanuel Quickly was phenomenal. Career high in assists. I'd like to see that go into like maybe the 6s next year. Grady Dick was a lot better in the second half. I think this team could be back in play-in tournament conversations next year. We just got to hope that we get lucky in the lottery. It looks like maybe Oliver Clark is the top guy, at least in the mock drafts right now. He's a 6'8" big though, 23 years old out of Illinois State. I don't love that. Andor Bazov looks a little bit better, but he's 23 years old out of Hungary. Yeah, it looks like maybe he's the top guy. So this is definitely going to be an interesting draft class, and maybe we're going to get to a point where we don't love a prospect. We could look to make a trade, as you have a Mavericks Knicks NBA Finals here, the Kristaps Porzingis Bowl, the Wesley Matthews Tim Hardaway Jr. Bowl. Wait, no, oh my God, I thought it was the Mavericks because Luka was your conference finals MVP, but no, it's Minnesota, which is kind of cool because you have Randall and DiVincenzo against their former team. Same with Cat. Let's see who wins the finals this year. It's going to be the Timberwolves in 6, and Julius Randle is your finals MVP. It's It's crazy to say. And do we see any Raptors retire? We do. Garrett Temple, Raptors legend right here. So let's see who makes it to the Hall of Fame. It's LeBron. We do retire Kyle Lowry's jersey number, which will definitely happen. So here we are, the 2025 draft lottery. This could be huge for us. We're projected number 2 right now. All right, so don't tell me we're going to have the 6th pick in this, please. Oh my God. All right, so we dropped from 2 to 6. So that disastrous season netted me the 6th overall pick. Oh, that's so brutal. So the Bulls are 1, Jazz are 2, Spurs via Atlanta are 3, Kings are 4, Rockets via Brooklyn, well, that should be Brooklyn, is 5, and the Raptors are here at 6. Oh man, that sucks a lot. All right, so we're here at the NBA draft, and there's nobody I really love outside of maybe Andor Baza right there. There's Dylan Barry here, who's a 6'6" wing out of Houston. He could be a potential guy that we target. Ray Roberts here. Like, his ceiling is Rudy Gay, which is not super exciting, and he was bad last year in college. So this is about to be very interesting. I don't think I have the assets to move up to number 1, and the Bulls are a team that could want a center, so I don't think they'd be trading down from number 1. So the number 1 pick is going to be Andor Baza out of Hungary, 6'10" center. Number 2 is Gabe Shepard out of Utah State, somebody I was looking at as well. Could be a nice piece for Utah going forward. I just have a feeling, like, at number 6, we're not taking a starter. They're going to probably be maybe the 7th man, maybe the 8th man next year. And these are all the guys off the board. So a lot of forwards have gone. No guards have gone yet. So I'm going to take Vladimir Tombo here, who's 6'1", out of Serbia. He put up 27 points, 10 assists on good efficiency last year in 24 games in Serbia. A little bit of a risk right now, but I think he could be a good point guard for us going forward. Hopefully he develops well. He's 198. He's got a wingspan of 6'5". He's 6'1", which is a little bit undersized right now, but I think that could be a good piece for us, as we don't really have a true backup point guard right now. And Vladimir Tombo is a 74 overall. He's 20 years old. I was looking at Oliver Clark as well, but I just don't love these undersized big men, which were kind of across the board right there. He's 6'8". So let's sign Tombo. We did not have a 2nd round pick. We're going to pick up the team option on Grady Dick, but not to Ochai Agbaji or Bruno Fernando. Or Chomchi, I definitely want to extend the qualifying offer too. Man, I love scouting DJ Carden when he was at Ohio State. Just funny, he never really worked out because I thought his play style was phenomenal there, honestly. So free agency, I mean, if we want to bring back Boucher just because he's been here for a while, why not? Because right now, like, we have our rotation kind of figured out. Like, Tombo's going to get a decent amount of minutes. We have Quickly. You have at least Grady Dick. You have 3 small forwards that are going to be getting minutes. You have Barnes, Mobo. Like, maybe we try to get a better backup 5, but I think that's what I'm going to rock with right now. Unless I go throughout here and I love one of these options. Like, Trey Mann could be a lot of fun, but I don't really want him to eat into the Jacoby Walter minutes because I want to develop him next year. So I'm going to actually see if I could sign Isaiah Jackson, who could be a better backup center than Rashawn Holmes. It's going to be a 3-year deal, team option on the last year. I don't think Indiana is going to match that. So let's see. Can we get Isaiah Jackson? I think we can, which is a nice pickup for us. I'm also going to sign Luke Cornett to a 2-year deal as well, worth about $6 million. As nobody really switched teams here at the top as expected. Scotty Barnes is an 89 overall. Emmanuel Quickly regresses a little bit, which is interesting. Harrison Barnes is probably going to be like the last man in the rotation this year. I don't know though. Jamal Sheed's up to a 75. I think I could just run a couple point guards. Like, we could play Sheed and Tombo next year. All right, so this is going to be the starting 5, same as it was last year. The bench is going to be Jacoby Walter, Isaiah Jackson, Vladimir Tombo, Jamal Sheed, and Luke Cornett. We are going to give him some minutes there because he could be a trade piece at the deadline. I'm just going to actually go a couple less minutes to Walter, a couple more to Grady Dick. Since the proficiency is going to be 3.5 star balanced under Darko Rajakovic. And let's see how we start off the year on the road against the LA Clippers. Both these teams have had Kawhi Leonard at one point in his career. We ended up losing by 2. Grady Dick, whoa, what a start to the year. Was super efficient, missed 4 shots overall, 1 3, and just 2 free throws. Scotty Barnes flirted with a triple-double. Vladimir Tombo, really good game here. I mean, I don't know. If he plays well, we could see him being our starting point guard eventually. Quickly could be a 6-man. Quickly could be a shooting guard because I think he can hold his own defensively. Grady Dick off the bench, or maybe Grady Dick to the 3. Bear, I don't know. Like, we are definitely going to have some possibilities going forward. I don't think we're going to be great this year since last year we weren't good. And we didn't add too much. Like, we had a Tombo, Cornett, Isaiah Jackson in the offseason. So if we're going to be better, it's because internally, like, these guys developed, so we'll see. Quickly had a nice game here and a win against Atlanta. We do own our 1st round pick, like, going forward, so we're chilling with that. And then we're going to get the final pick, I believe, from the Pascal Siakam trade. So, hey, if the Pacers are bad this year, that could be massive for us, but I feel like they are pretty good going forward. Could be a really good point guard here. Jackie Nash got a sick haircut right there. Got the nice fro. we'll see kind of who emerges as one of the top guys here in the 2026 draft. And we are seeing improvement this year. We are currently 17-36. We're the 12th seed here in the Eastern Conference. It is cool. You can see kind of like your past year stats more than just last year too. And you can see the statistics and what has gotten better each year. Because last year we won 22 games overall. So we should definitely hit that total. I think we should probably have more wins than we did in 2024 as well. And if we take a look here at the team stats, RJ Barrett is actually averaging the most points on this team right now. He's turning into an elite free throw shooter. Field goal percentage is great. 4 assists, 5.7 rebounds. I'd love to see that. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Scotty Barnes has been great. We saw how good he was in the second half last year shooting the ball. Hopefully that could be the same thing here. Emmanuel quickly not having as good of a year this year as last year, it seems like. Grady Dick, though, is turning into an elite shooter in this league, which is great. He's still just 22 years old. Jacoby Walter hasn't taken that step in the first half, but I have the confidence he will be much better in the second half. We're getting to a point where I think Isaiah Jackson should probably be starting over Jakob Poeltl. Vladimir Tumbo is having a fine rookie season. I mean, it's not been great. So I don't really think I'm going to move anybody at the deadline. We could probably work out an extension with Jakob Poeltl, but I don't think that's going to happen unless he really, yeah, like he doesn't even want to resign actually. So you know what we're going to do for the second half? We are going to bench him, I guess. He's still going to play, but we are going to get Isaiah Jackson in the starting lineup, and he's going to be our starting center for the rest of the 2026 season. And Luka goes back-to-back with MVPs. He was 0.1 assists off per game from averaging a triple-double. Robert Willis, your rookie there, he was the 12th overall pick by Brooklyn. Shout out to him. 6'4" guard, so if it's him and Cam Thomas in that backcourt, they got the LSU backcourt over there. Anthony Simon, 6th man of the year. I mean, that would be somebody to definitely target trade-wise, even though 32 from 3, 41 from the field isn't great, but we don't really need an Anthony Simons type player on this team right now. As did we get Scotty Barnes making an all-NBA team once again? Yes. So last year, he was all-NBA third team. This year, all-NBA second team. Not really turning into a great stretch four, but I think it's just so valuable to have what he could do. Like if you could shoot 30+% from 3, elite defense clearly, and giving me 5 assists a night, 22 points, like he's been amazing for us as advertised. And he was also on all defensive second team as well. So we're going to have a decent amount of money off the books. I still don't think we're going to have enough to sign like a really good big man in free agency. Vladimir Tumbo is on all rookie first team. Like seeing Walker Kessler, I was like, would be cool to get Walker Kessler. We're not going to have that cap. So I don't know though. Maybe we are going to be able to do a trade this offseason since we do own those draft picks. The Pacers, we're bad. Oh my God. We are rooting for Milwaukee, and then we are going to be rooting for the loser of this game if Indiana wins. Because if so, we are going to have 2 lottery picks, which will be great. As Jacoby Walter was kind of the same as last year, but the free throw percentage is up. I think that was going to be what he was going to be going into his NBA career. Project play, a little bit raw at first. He'll be fine going forward. Because if we look at this team's cap sheet going forward, I mean, yeah, Quickly's contract is going to stay the same, which is fine. RJ goes up a little bit. And Scotty Barnes is going to go up by $3 million next year, but we're going to have what? $38 million, $51 million off the books. So we are big Bucks fans right now. Come on, Milwaukee, win this game. Let's go. Indiana gets eliminated. And as long as they don't end up in the top 3 in the lottery, we are going to have 2 lottery picks, which is great. So the 2 teams that are going to be competing in the 2026 finals, you have Philadelphia and you do have Dallas in it. So let's see who wins the finals. It's going to be Dallas in 7. Luka Doncic gets MVP and finals MVP in the same season. So Chris Paul ends up retiring, same with James Harden, as CP3, Harden, and Russ all head to the Hall of Fame. So here we go. Last year's draft lottery was not kind to us. They dropped me from 2 to 6. I mean, imagine Indiana jumped up from 12 to 4. That would be great, but that's kind of risky, honestly. Our pick is projected at number 6, so hopefully this year we can go from 6 to 2. All right, so the Pacers pick did not jump up into the top 4, which obviously would have been amazing if that did go to number 4, but I'm fine with it being at number 12 because if you would have asked me preseason, I would have expected that pick to be in the late teens or 20s. All right, so let's see if we're going to stay at pick 6, which I feel like isn't common, and boom, there we go. That means we have jumped into the top 4. Last year's lottery was not kind to us. This year has been the complete opposite. So we don't go into the top 3, which is fine. I will take pick 4. So in this draft, we have 4, we have 12, and that is going to be it. And if we look here at the mock drafts, Monty Randall from Evansville is projected the number 1 pick. There's this It's Fun guy from Hungary. 6'5" wing would be sick, honestly. I mean, we could try to trade up for him. All right, so could we potentially do that? Could we move pick 4, 12 for number 1? I'd probably have to throw in maybe this Grizzlies lottery protected pick that we got in the John Conchar salary dump trade. I think they would accept this. and we get the Itzvan player from Hungary. I'm trying to think there. Do we need to do that? Like, that's another wing. We could really hold on to these assets for a center if we wanted to make a trade for one. There isn't really like a great center in this class, honestly. Conrad Sykes looks okay. Like, we'd probably target him at number 12. This actually does not look like a good center class whatsoever. But I don't think I'm going to trade up for the number 1 pick. Maybe I'll try to be in conversations with 2 if they don't go Itzvan, which they do out of Hungary. I mean, after his rookie year, he might not even crack the rotation. We could trade. Oh, man, I wanted Horace Brooks. I thought he was going to fall to me. That was a power forward I had my eye on. And the Rockets at number 3 take Monty Randall, which I think were the 3 consensus top 3 guys in this class. That's brutal. So I'm going to take Doyle Daugherty here with the number 4 overall pick, a 6'9" power forward out of Indiana. Last year, he put up 17 points and 13 rebounds, 55% from the field, 2.3 blocks as well. Hey, last time Toronto took a player from Indiana in the first round, it worked out in OG Anunoby. And we're going to snag another power forward, but he could be more of a 3. Ruben Barlow out of G Tech. As yeah, it's fun. He does look pretty good, can't lie. So we did draft Conrad Potter in the second round. Not great overall wise, but 6'9", I mean, center from Indiana State. We really targeted that state here in this draft because Doyle is from Indiana. He's a little bit, I think, more of a project, but I'm fine with that draft class. We're going to let Jakob Poeltl walk. We're going to pick up the team options on at least Dick, Walter, and Sheed. I think Jonathan Mogbo, though, I'm going to let walk since I just drafted a couple power forwards. We don't have any qualifying offers right now. So yeah, we could target a center in free agency. I'm not going to bring back, I think, anybody here, even like Chris Boucher. And if you look at the centers that are affordable, it's not pretty right now. All right, so I'm going to actually make this trade with the Utah Jazz, Luke Cornett and Jamal Sheed for Michael Wright, the 4th, who was the 17th overall pick in the 2025 draft. He is not going to get any minutes there in Utah, and we're going to get Cleveland's unprotected pick in 2029. I mean, Jakob Poeltl we could bring back, but I'm just going to opt not to do that. As Jimmy Butler signs with the LA Clippers, look at that. And Scotty Barnes is up to a 92 overall. RJ Barrett maybe peaking at an 84. Grady Dick's up to an 82. Vladimir Tombo, 81 overall, which is great to see. His potential pretty solid right now. We'll see how he can keep improving. There's Jackson, Walter, and Wright. That's going to be the rotation. I'm sure Barlow's going to make it. Maybe Daugherty. We'll see. Last year, we got to eat the $6 million from John Conchar. All right, so this is going to be the same starting 5 as it was after the trade deadline last year when we benched Jakob Poeltl. The bench is Walter, Tombo, Michael Wright, Ruben Barlow, and Doyle Daugherty. We did have to sign KCP and Jordan McLaughlin there on veteran minimum. System proficiency is 3.5 star balance. We'll see if this internal core can get us into the play-in tournament. Maybe the playoffs, we'll see. If not, there could be some conversations to be had, like if RJ and Quickly are the guys for the future. I mean, a lot of guys are going to be owed money at the end of the year. RJ Barrett, free agent. Grady Dick's going to be a free agent as well. I don't think I'm going to touch those. Maybe we'll see how Barrett performs this year. I think Grady Dick's more likely to come back than RJ. At the trade deadline, we are 22-29, which means we're the 12th seed in the Eastern Conference, but we're basically like a game, half a game out of the 9th seed. So we could definitely be a play-in tournament team this year. I may look at actually maybe buying at the deadline, seeing if we can add around the margins. As Scotty Barnes, he's playing his way to potentially being on all NBA first team this year. He has been incredible for us. RJ Barrett, 49% from the field, 35% from 3, 87% from the line. Still monitoring that situation. He's still 26 years old. Man, Emmanuel Quickly is having a good bounce back season because 2K actually wanted to start Vladimir Tombo over him, which was going to be something to monitor. Grady Dick, elite shooter for us. Tombo, 35% from 3. 87% from the line, which is great. Jacoby Walter has been better for us this season, but still maybe not where I'd like him to be. Still just 22 years old. There's Isaiah Jackson, 2 blocks, 1.3 steals, which is great to see. There's Michael Wright, who's been very good for us this year as a backup center, looking like a good trade for us. Ruben Barlow and Doyle did not have like a ton of opportunity, but if Doyle can actually be a plus 3-point shooter, that's going to be great for the rotation next year. All right, I'm going to see if Cleveland would be interested in trading me Jarrett Allen. Yeah, we were going to try to get Jarrett Allen and Scotty Barnes in that front court, and I'd get Jalen Tyson in this trade for RJ Barrett and Memphis's lottery protected pick, which probably is not going to be a pick this year, but next year it will be. And I would also throw in that Suns Mavericks pick in 2029, which you never know with the Suns. They could be very good then, or they could be very bad, I mean. So we're going to offer this trade to Cleveland. Let's see, and they agree to it, which means they can make Evan Mobley now the center. We pick up Jalen Tyson in that trade, which is going to be great for us. So we definitely are going to have a little bit of a different starting 5. I think McKinley, or I keep calling him McKinley, Michael Wright, he's going to get like 10 minutes a night. Isaiah Jackson has been good for us, but it's more likely, I mean, $10 million a year next year as the backup center isn't bad, but I don't need 3 centers. And if Wright is just a little bit cheaper, like this could be Isaiah Jackson's last year on the team. He could be more of like a pick up the team option and trade him in the offseason. I think we could try Jacoby Walter as the starting small forward for now, but 24 minutes tonight. I think we're going to stick with that. Grady Dick can get 30, 35 to quickly. And I do want to get Jalen Tyson some minutes as well. So he's going to get in there. I think Ruben Barlow is going to get like 10 minutes a night because Tyson is definitely better. He's going to get like 17 minutes a night. So we're going to have a deep bench. I mean, there's a chance the rookies don't even play for us in the playoffs, but yeah, I'm kind of buying this year, and Scotty Barnes and Jared Allen as my front court going forward makes me very hopeful that we can make the playoffs this year and win the finals maybe within the next 2 years. So we are going to ink Grady Dick to an extension. We're going to get out in front of it so we don't have to touch it this offseason. $80 million over 4 years. Well, actually, it's going to be a little bit less than that. We're going to get a nice descending contract as well, kind of like what Keldon Johnson has gone in the past, or maybe a Denny Avdia. So this is going to be a nice return for one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Okay, Luka, just win MVP every year. That's his third straight MVP, the #1 pick. Itzban gets Rookie of the Year, shot 39% from 3 this year. De'Aaron Fox is just behind Luka. Okay. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind this offseason. If, I don't know, we're trying to upgrade. I don't know if it's from quickly, but we do have Vladimir Tombo as well. So that was all the major awards. Scotty Barnes does not take home All-NBA first team honors, but he is on All-NBA second team. Oh my God, 38% from 3, 5.3 assists a night. I mean, he could be my starting point guard at one point, but I think he's just a little bit like too valuable there at the power forward spot to move him. We are in the play-in tournament for the first time in this video. We are the 10th seed though, so it's not like we're anything crazy right now. We finished the year with a 38-44 record, a minus 2.9 point differential. And our second leading scorer was Emmanuel Quickly, 39% from 3, 90% from the line is great. Grady Dick, 14 points. Really good stuff there, man. Jared Allen averaged a double-double for us. And then you had Vladimir Tombo, 11 points off the bench. Jacoby Walter was definitely better in the second half. 36% from 3, I'll take that. So for the playoffs, I think Michael Wright has been kind of solid for us. So I don't think he's going to play for us. I think Doyle's not going to play either. So do I even want to play Ruben Barlow? I don't think so. So the bench is going to be Tombo, Jackson, Tyson, and Michael Wright. And then for the starting lineup, we're definitely going to go like 40 minutes to Barnes, 34 to Allen. Let's do 33 there to Dick, and then let's just do 26 to Walter. So can we beat the Chicago Bulls on the road and advance in the play-in tournament? The first quarter, though, went very well. First half, I'll take that. So let's just have a strong second half, and we are going to be advancing in the play-in tournament. Finish off this fourth quarter strong. Don't blow it. Oh, my God. We ended up winning by 2. A win is a win. Scotty Barnes, 28 points and 9 rebounds. So here we are in the second leg of the play-in tournament, taking on the Detroit Pistons. We have another great first half. But hopefully, like, unlike the Bulls, we don't blow it in the second there. Oh, my God. We do exactly the same thing we did in the first leg. But, hey, we still ended up winning. And for the first time in this video, the Toronto Raptors are in the playoffs. So we are going to be taking on the Charlotte Hornets, who have, like, kind of a lot of OG guys, but they've added Josh Giddey. Oh, former Raptor, Jakob Poeltl, look at that. But, yeah, LaMelo and Brandon Miller. Like, Brandon Miller at the 2 is kind of sick. And we win game 1 by 14. Scotty Barnes with 33. Jalen Tyson with 17 points off the bench. Grady Dick, 2 of 14 from 3. That is insane, and we still won that game. We do lose game 2 by 3. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Brandon Miller had 52 points. Damn. But Scotty Barnes is not folding here in the playoffs. He is showing up because he did play in the playoffs for the Raptors back in, what, 2022 when they lost to Philly in round number 1. But we are down 2-1 here against Charlotte. Can we take a game 4 victory? We cannot. We ended up losing by 17. We really needed to win both those games in Charlotte to start off the series. Like, losing game 2 really hurt by 3. Can we maybe make somewhat of a comeback? We win game 5. LaMelo had a triple-double. Scotty had 29. Game number 6. Oh, my God. We forced a game 7. We dropped 150. We won 150-120 against them. Oh, my God. Game 7 on the road. Can we beat Charlotte and pull off an insane upset? An insane 3-1 comeback. We have a lead in the second half. The defense is showing up. Oh, my God. Don't choke this. Please. You're up by 2. Oh, my God. We're down by 1. No. Oh, man. We're tied 111 apiece. Down by 2. Down by 2. Come on. Come on. We're tied. This would be such an insane upset if we could pull it off. Oh, Vladimir Tombo is in at the point guard spot right now. I see Barnes is in, Walter is in, Isaiah Jackson's in, LaMelo's driving. Isaiah Jackson, good rim protection right there. Scotty with the rebound. Can we win this game on the road? Jacoby Walter going right at Giddey. I didn't love that shot, man. What are you doing, Jacoby? Oh, God. Can Tombo hold his own? Defensively, Scotty, yes. With the steal. Kick it up to Walter. Somebody run the floor properly. Scotty to the rim. Oh, my God. He misses the layup. You got to be kidding me, Scotty. Oh, my God. That just happened. That did not just happen. Oh, my God. I'm nervous. That would have been a great opportunity to take the lead. LaMelo, man, he's too good. Oh, and that's an and 1. Jesus. I had a feeling it was too good to be true that we were going to come back down, and we just had the lead in the second half, but it just felt like Charlotte was inevitable at breaking my heart. this playoff run right now. So let's see. Scotty Barnes gets right by T-John Salon. Left-hand shot is no good, man. He had Jacoby Walter wide open at the top of the key for 3. This isn't good, man. This isn't good. We need to stop really badly. And LaMelo blows by quickly. There's no help defense right there. And we're down by 5 just like that. All right, it's now or never. We got to score in this possession. I would love a 3-ball from quickly here or Grady Dick as Scotty takes not a great shot. And that's probably the game. Yep, Brandon Miller, he's going to score that. All right, we're down by 7. So the Toronto Raptors have been eliminated. We lost 126-121. And it stinks because I feel like we could beat Boston. You never know as Charlotte beats Boston. They're in the NBA Finals going up against the Thunder, and the Thunder win in 6, with Chet Holmgren being your Finals MVP. So there goes KD, there goes Steph, Jimmy Butler ends up retiring, Draymond Green, a bunch of notable Hall of Famers that would be Hall of Famers in real life. So we're here at the draft lottery. I wonder where that Grizzlies pick. It's actually at number 7, so yeah, that's lottery protected, so the Cavs aren't going to get it this time around. We don't have any picks here, I believe. We do own our first round pick, which is going to be at number 16, which isn't too bad whatsoever as the Pacers won the lottery after losing out on their first round pick last year. So the number 1 overall pick is going to be Marion Johnson from Temple. Hey, shout out my alma mater. Is he really good? Yeah, 22 years old, 82 overall. It's funny that like all these top picks in the auto-generated draft classes come from smaller schools, or just, I mean, like not from Kansas or from Duke or from Kentucky, when they're like, those are the picks that ended up being, or the number 1 picks are from those colleges. Like we're seeing Bradley go, Louisville, I mean, that's a fairly big school. The G League Ignite, there you go. Northern Iowa, like, look at that. So with the 16th overall pick, I took a project play right here, and there are Darnell Young, who's a 6'5" power forward. He's more of a small forward in my opinion. And we got Cameron Sharp here in the second round with pick 37. Pick up the team option on Tombo. Pick it up on Jackson, because we could definitely trade him. Conrad Potter, who was a second round pick last year, I am not going to pick that up on. So we have no qualifying offers. Free agency. Like, I wanted to trade for Fox, but unfortunately he is a free agent. All right, I think I'm gonna make a blockbuster trade here. Yeah, I'm gonna move Doyle Daughtry, who was the 4th overall pick in last year's draft. I'm gonna move Isaiah Jackson, and I'm gonna move Jacoby Walter, who has definitely been progressing. He's gonna be a restricted free agent at the end of this year. I'm getting Zach Collins, who's probably not gonna crack the rotation, but I'm getting a Men Thompson. And you might be saying, like, man, you have Emmanuel quickly. Yeah, I'm going to try Emmanuel Thompson as a small forward. We are going to change his position to the 3. I'm worried about the shooting a little bit, but his overall goes up. And if it's like it doesn't work out, I can make him a point guard, quickly a shooting guard. I can make maybe Jalen Tyson the starting small forward, or Grady Dick. And we should have a little bit of money to spend as well if we wanted to get like more shooting off the bench. And that could definitely be Aaron Nesmith, who I'm going to give, I think, a 3-year deal to with a team option on the last year, and we are going to sign him. So I'm really excited about this team next year. Vladimir Tumbo looks really good, man. Like, there's a chance we start him at the 1, and Emmanuel quickly could be a 6-man at one point. So yeah, I don't think Darnell Young is going to crack the rotation right now, but it's going to be Ruben Barlow like 10 minutes a night. I'd like to go 18 to Michael Wright and Jalen Tyson. I think like about 18 to Aaron Nesmith as well. We're going to try Emmanuel quickly as the 6th man, which means Vladimir Tumbo is going to be the starting point guard. Grady Dick can get like 28 minutes a night. I'd like to go a lot more minutes around here. So maybe Barlow is going to get like 18 or 8 minutes a night. Maybe Nesmith like 16, because I think Jalen Tyson might be a little bit better at this point. And I'd like to go at least 32 to Jared Allen. So this is definitely going to change a lot throughout the year. Like, I'd like to get Amen Thompson more minutes come playoff time, because he's going to be probably an elite defender for us. So at the trade deadline, we're turning it to one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. We are 36-13, and we have an 11.3 point differential, which is the best in the NBA. So I can figure out if I want to be a buyer or something at the deadline, as Vladimir Tumbo is really turning into an elite point guard. 48% from the field, 5.8 assists, 40% from 3. We love to see that. Scotty Barnes is playing like a true number 1 option. Grady Dick, 16 points, 50, 45, 91 splits. That's unreal. There's Emmanuel quickly as our 6th man. He still has 2 years left on his deal. There's Jared Allen being a rock-solid center for us. Amen Thompson, 12, 8.5, 7.2. Man, I'll take that. And with Scotty Barnes becoming, I would say, an elite 3-point shooter. Back-to-back years, 38% from 3 on good volume. Like, I'm okay with the men and Jared Allen both not shooting the ball well, because Tumbo is shooting 40% from 3. Grady Dick is arguably the best shooter in the NBA now that Steph Curry is retired. Michael Wright is a really good backup center as well. So we're, I think, on the right track with 36-16. I don't think I'm going to make a trade. You know what? We are actually going to make a trade. I'm going to be sending Aaron Nesmith and Ruben Barlow to Denver for Sidy Cissoko, but most notably Aaron Gordon, who's going to be a great playmaking power forward for us off the bench. He's a good defender, and he's under contract next year as well. So a quick time in Toronto for Aaron Nesmith, but having that contract allowed us to make that trade for Aaron Gordon. And Ruben Barlow was fine, but I kind of wanted just an upgrade. And here, the bench of Quickly, Gordon, Michael Wright, and Jalen Tyson is an elite, I think, four-man bench for the playoffs. And Luka just won his 4th MVP award. That's unreal. The #1 pick from Temple ends up getting Rookie of the Year. Josh Giddey, 6th Man of the Year. Wemby Depoy. Most improved is Oliver Black, who was undrafted. Okay, back in, I don't even know, in the 25 draft. I feel like he was like supposed to be a top pick as the Heat go 61-21. Shout out to them. Scotty Barnes still can't crack All-NBA first team, but I think has been playing definitely worthy of that. So we do get Scotty Barnes on all defensive second team. And we finish the year as the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. We're going to be taking on the 7-seeded Pistons in round #1. As Vladimir Mutombo is an 89 overall. We're taking on Cade, Lenny Keefe, Sword Thompson versus his twin brother. That's cool. Clintman and Stewart. They have DeJounte Murray, Marcus Sasser, Holland. Grimes is back in Detroit off the bench. And here are the stats from this season with Scotty Barnes being the clear #1. Grady Dick, Vladimir Mutombo, very efficient backcourt. I'm very excited about this team this year, and I just feel like the defense is going to be so good in the playoffs. I think for the rotation, though, I mean, Jalen Tyson was an elite shooter for us this year. We probably don't need to play Michael Wright all these minutes because Jared Allen's getting a bunch. So I'm going to go like 22 to Gordon, 18 to Tyson, 28 to Quickly is good. And then for here, I'd like to go 31 to Amen. I'd like to go 30 to Dick. We'll go 29 to Mutombo. 35 minutes may be kind of low for Scotty, so we'll see if we're going to change that as the playoffs go along. We do win game #1. Scotty drops 32. Can we take game #2? Yes, we can. We end up winning 127-111 in the Dwayne Casey Bowl. I should have mentioned that before as well. Game 3 goes to Detroit. They blow us out. All right, that's fine. They could take a game. Let's bounce back here in game #4, please. And they tie it up. All right, so now I'm getting nervous. Now I'm not really a fan of what's going on. Game #5 goes to Toronto. We end up blowing them out. Okay, Scotty Barnes only playing 31 minutes, which I just hate. And Aaron Gordon's been good for us in the playoffs, but I think I'm going to give him like 18 minutes a night. I want Scotty Barnes getting 39 minutes. He's our best player. We're riding and dying with him as we win game #6. So we do advance here to round #2. Scotty Barnes, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists was great. Vladimir Mutombo in his first playoff series was great as well. We're taking on Boston. This could have been the Aaron Nesmith Bowl, but it will not be. They have Rudy Gobert off the bench. Game 1 goes to the Raptors. Let's go. These two teams, the last time they played each other were in the bubble, actually, in the bubble playoffs. In the conference finals, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been the semis, actually. No. Yeah, it was the semis. Can we take a 3-0 lead? Nope, we end up losing game 3. We end up winning game 4, though, and we end up beating Boston in 5. And we are going to be in the conference finals for the first time since that 2019 season, the year the Raptors won it all. We're going to be taking on the 8-seeded Cavs. Look at that, who no longer have RJ Barrett. All right, so they didn't opt to re-sign him. Okay, game #1 is going to go to Toronto here. As Memphis, also just a quick update, they were bad again this year, so that pick from that Jared Allen trade is going to be pretty good. Yeah, so that trade I think is going to work out for both teams. Game #2 goes to Toronto. 3 goes to Toronto. Don't blow a 3-0 lead. We end up gentlemen sweeping them. And Amen Thompson, who we picked up, is your conference finals MVP. We're taking on the 2-seeded Thunder. As Scotty Barnes had 23 points in this series. How are the Suns in the conference finals? Oh, they have a sick Kentucky backcourt of Fox and Booker. Dunn, Furphy, Collins. All right, that's very fun offensively. So here we are taking on the Thunder, who are very tough to beat in 2K. They've developed a lot of their young core. Game 1 goes to the Raptors, though. A massive win. Oh my God. We won by 33. Game #2 goes to Toronto. 137-114. Don't blow this lead. We're up 2-0. 3-0, let's go. We win by 3 in OKC. And can we win the NBA Finals? Oh my God, we swept them. I thought that was going to be the toughest test yet, and we swept them. As Amen Thompson, I just picked up the conference finals and finals MVP at the deadline, or at the beginning of the year. That is insane. Oh my God, let's go, man. That is sick. That is sick, as we end up winning it all. I really like this team. We developed it through the draft. Kept a lot of, I think, a decent amount of OG Raptors. I mean, Barnes, Quickly, Grady Dick, I guess 3. Like, we made that Jared Allen trade. We made the Amen Thompson trade. We drafted Vladimir Mutombo. We got Michael Wright for pretty cheap from the Jazz, honestly. And then we also drafted some other guys. This was a very fun rebuild to do. And then I think picking up Aaron Gordon at the deadline was huge as well. And I hope you guys did enjoy this Toronto Raptors rebuild. If you did, I would appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments which team we should rebuild next. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.